Comprehensive testing with door-to-door screening to detect coronavirus cases in Delhi begins today. Country's largest COVID care center in Chhatarpur starts with 2,000 beds at Radha Swami Bias campus. Union Health Minister to chair 17th review meeting on COVID-19 response today. Union Ministers for External Affairs, Civil Aviation likely to attend. A central team to take stock of the disease response in Maharashtra. Recovery cases exceed total number of active cases by over 98,000, improves more than 58%. Number of active cases more than 1,97,000 with 15,685 fatalities. Worldwide cases surpass 97,64,000. President promulgates Banking Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2020 to ensure better management and sound regulation of cooperative banks, facilitates making of reconstruction or amalgamation scheme in interests of banking sector. Indian Navy inducts DRDO-developed Marich advanced anti-torpedo decoy system capable of being fired from all frontline warships. Navy receives major boost and country's resolve to become Atmanirbhar in niche technology. Washington, D.C. to become 51st state of the United States of America. U.S. House approves statehood in historic vote. Hello and welcome to this edition of the news. I'm Rukma and our top story. The Union Group of Ministers on COVID-19 will hold their 17th meeting today. The meeting, chaired by Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan, will be held at Nirman Bhavan. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, Minister of State for Home Affairs Nityanand Rai, besides other Union Ministers, are expected to attend. Meanwhile, the GOM will be briefed about the latest status, response and management of COVID-19 in the country. A brief snapshot will also be presented to the GOM, highlighting the comparative position of India vis-a-vis other countries in similar stage of easing of lockdown. The GOM will also discuss further prevention and future course of action with regards to the pandemic. Meanwhile, a central team led by Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare Joint Secretary Love Agarwal will visit Maharashtra today. The team will interact with state officials and coordinate with them to strengthen ongoing efforts for management of COVID-19. A similar meeting was held yesterday when the team visited Ahmedabad in Gujarat yesterday. The central team will also visit Telangana tomorrow. To adopt a comprehensive policy for Delhi, the government has started conducting random serological tests of 20,000 people. The survey will be conducted till the 10th of July. Serological survey is being conducted in all districts of Delhi, in which sample testing is being conducted spanning all sections and ages. The survey will help in comprehensive assessment of the spread of infection and help draw up a comprehensive strategy. A sero survey involves a testing of blood serum from a group of individuals. It is a community-based sero survey to estimate the prevalence of COVID-19 infection in the population. The survey was started by ICMR during May in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, the National Center for Disease Control, State Health Departments and the WHO. The Jharkhand government has extended lockdown-related restrictions currently in place in the state till the 31st of July. However, all activities permitted prior to this order will continue to do so. Jharkhand had a total of 2,262 cases. So far, 1,605 of those infected have recovered. The number of active COVID cases in the state stands at 645 and fatalities at 12. In Guwahati, meanwhile, complete lockdown will be imposed from tomorrow midnight for 14 days. Emergency services will be allowed. such as pharmacies and hospitals only, which will remain open. Essential item shops like fruits and vegetable shops will remain closed. This lockdown will be stricter than the earlier one. Since yesterday evening, curfew has been imposed in the state from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Weekend lockdowns in town committees and municipalities will be imposed from today onwards, and villages will be exempt. Critical infrastructure constructions like the Ganeshguri flyover and Baghjan will be exempt. Meanwhile, in the wake of increasing cases over the past 2 weeks in Navi Mumbai, the municipal commissioner has given the order for a complete lockdown in 10 containment zones covering over 71,000 households. The lockdown will be implemented from June 29th to the 5th of July. There will be no movement of people going in or out of these zones except for medical emergencies and buying essential goods. Violation of the order by any person will attract action under Disaster Management Act 2005, Section 188 of the IPC and other legal provisions. 5,024 new cases of coronavirus infected were reported from Navi Mumbai yesterday. There are 65,829 active cases in Maharashtra, with the death toll rising to 7,106. Under the Vande Bharat mission, a special Air India flight for repatriation of stranded Indian nationals left from Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport for Kochi, Kerala. 248 Indians, including 4 infants from Europe, Latin America, Iceland and the Caribbean, are on board the special flight. Meanwhile, Union Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri in a tweet said Vande Bharat is without doubt one of the largest evacuation missions of its kind, both in terms of magnitude and geographic reach. Nearly 145,000 Indians have returned on about 725 flights since 6 May 2020 and 50,000 have flown out. 3,816 have returned from different countries today. And the next phase of Operation Samudra Setu for repatriating Indian nationals is on in full swing. Indian naval ship INS Jalashwa evacuated 687 nationals of India from Iran and will reach Tuticorin today. Before boarding, medical checkups of all passengers was done. All basic amenities and medical facilities were provided to evacuees during the passage. This is the 6th voyage by Indian naval ships as part of Samudra Setu program to bring back Indian nationals from neighboring countries. Indian Navy has already repatriated 3,992 Indian nationals who were stranded abroad as part of Operation Samudra Setu. And in the wake of the coronavirus outbreaks, Civil Aviation Regulator, Directorate General of Civil Aviation (DGCA) has decided to suspend all international flight operations till the 15th of July. In an order, DGCA said that scheduled commercial passenger services to and from India will remain suspended till 23:59 hours of July 15th, that's nearly midnight of July 15th. This restriction will not apply to international all-cargo operations and flights, especially approved by DGCA. However, international scheduled flights may be allowed on selected routes by the competent authority on case-to-case basis. Scheduled international passengers flights were suspended on March 22nd. However, passengers have been flying in and out of India on Air India's Vande Bharat mission flights and charters operated by foreign countries. The graded, preemptive and proactive steps taken by the government along with states and union territories for prevention, containment and management of COVID-19 are showing encouraging results. Recovered cases have exceeded active ones by 98,493. A total of 2,95,880 COVID-19 patients have been cured till now, while active cases are 1,97,387. All are under active medical supervision. This has led to the recovery rate touching 58.13%. amongst COVID patients. In the quest to expand testing labs networks across the country, ICMR has inducted 11 new labs in the past 24 hours. India now has 1,016 diagnostic labs dedicated to COVID-19. This includes 737 in the government sector and 279 private labs. The number of samples tested every day continues to steadily grow. In the past 24 hours, 2,20,479 tests were conducted. The total number of 79,96,707 samples have been tested till now. In order to tackle surging coronavirus cases in Delhi, an experienced team of doctors and administrators from ITBP have taken over as the nodal agency of the capital's largest COVID care centre. The centre, which will have a full capacity of 10,200 beds, has been set up in the Radha Swami Bias in Chhatarpur area of New Delhi. Once done, it would be the largest such facility with over 1,000 physicians. The team will be assisted by district officials, doctors from Central Armed Police Forces and paramedics. The core reason for deploying ITBP behind the running of this centre lies in the force's effectiveness in tackling the pandemic. This primary border patrol organization has been at the forefront of fighting the pandemic since the first case came to India. Since then, it has set up various quarantine facilities across the country as well. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the 90th birthday celebrations of the Most Reverend Dr. Joseph Mar Thoma Metropolitan in a short while from now via video conferencing. In a tweet, the Prime Minister said several followers of the Mar Thoma Church from India and abroad will be a part of the program. You can watch it on DD or the Namo app. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with people in the country and abroad in his Mann Ki Baat program at 11 a.m. tomorrow. This will be the 66th episode of the monthly radio broadcast, which will be broadcast in the entire network of AIR and Doordarshan and will also be streamed live on the YouTube channels of All India Radio, DD News, PMO and the Information and Broadcasting Ministry. AIR will broadcast the program in regional languages immediately after the Hindi broadcast. The regional language versions will be repeated at 8 in the evening. In pursuance of the commitment to ensure safety of depositors across banks, President Ramnath Kovind has promulgated the Banking Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2020. The ordinance amends the Banking Regulation Act 1949 as applicable to cooperative banks. The ordinance seeks to protect the interests of depositors and strengthen cooperative banks by improving governance and oversight by extending powers already available with RBI to cooperative banks as well. The amendments do not affect existing powers of the state registrars of cooperative societies under state cooperative laws. Amendments do not apply to primary agricultural credit societies or cooperative societies whose primary object and principal business is long-term finance for agricultural development. The ordinance also amends Section 45 of the Banking Regulation Act to enable making of a scheme of reconstruction or amalgamation of a banking company for protecting the interests of the public, depositors and the banking system. Anti-submarine warfare capability of the Indian Navy received a major boost with the conclusion of a contract for advanced torpedo decoy system Marich, capable of being fired from all frontline warships. The design and development of this anti-torpedo decoy system has been undertaken indigenously in DRDO labs. Bharat Electronics Limited would undertake the production of the decoy system. The prototype of the system installed on board a nominated naval platform had successfully completed all user evaluation trials and demonstrated the features as per the naval staff qualification requirements. This induction not only stands testimony to the joint resolve of the Indian Navy and DRDO towards indigenous development of defense technology, it has also given a major fillip to the government's Make in India initiative and the country's resolve to become Atmanirbhar in niche technology. In Poonch area of Jammu division, security forces launched a cordon and search operation in Sojian and Loran areas today. DSP Operation Manish Sharma told DD News that teams of army and police launched a joint search operation in Sojian area near the LOC after inputs about some suspicious movement were received last night. And let's now take a look at the worldwide COVID-19 situation. At the global level, the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases has exceeded 97,78,000 with over 4,93,000 fatalities. The US continues to lead the world in cases with more than 24,67,000 cases, about 1/4 of all infections worldwide. The US is also the world leader in number of deaths, with nearly 1,25,000 succumbing to the disease. Brazil is the second most infected of the world with 12,74,000 cases, while Russia stands at third with 6,19,000 cases. And the number of COVID-19 cases in the United States topped 24 lakh as the daily number of cases hit a record high in some states yesterday. The death toll increased to over 1,25,000. Amid the surge of new cases in the United States, the White House Coronavirus Task Force, led by Vice President Mike Pence, held its first briefing in nearly 2 months. Pence said that 16 states were experiencing increase in infections, while 34 states had recently reported stabilizing numbers of new cases. Pence said that the federal government was focusing on surges in southern states and encouraged people to comply with local, state and federal guidelines to avert further spread of the virus. Meanwhile, members of the White House Coronavirus Task Force on Friday issued a warning to younger people that they could be posing a risk to the elderly who may be more vulnerable to the coronavirus. It said young people may not be at risk of serious disease, but they could infect someone who is vulnerable. The World Health Organization has said it needs more than $30 billion over the next year to develop and produce COVID-19 tests, vaccines and other treatments. Renewing its call on Friday for global collaboration against the pandemic, the WHO said $3.4 billion had been contributed for the coalition so far, leaving a funding gap of $27.9 billion. Of that, $13.7 billion was urgently needed. The WHO is working with a large coalition of drug development, funding and distribution organizations under what it calls the ACT Accelerator Hub. It aims to scale up delivery of 2 billion vaccine doses, including 1 billion to be bought by high and middle income countries by the end of 2021. In a historic vote yesterday, the House of Representatives approved making Washington, D.C. the country's 51st state. As per the legislation, Washington would be represented by 2 senators and 1 member of Congress. Friday's vote marks the first time a Washington statehood bill has passed in either chamber of Congress. A statehood bill came up for a vote in 1993 but failed in the House. And that's all we have for you in this edition of the news. News and updates continue on DD News and DD India. Namaskar.